Reflections by Colton. When a family moves into a big house in Harrisburg, North Carolina, they discover a few mirrors in the attic that were covered up. So, they decide to put them up around the house, but then realize why they were covered in the first place. Because 3 ghosts appear everywhere they go, trying to kill them. 1997. A neighborhood appears. Rain falls from the sky. The sound of thunder rumbling. Lightning flashes. Screaming comes from inside of a house. Woman number 1 appears running down the hallway, then goes into a bedroom. The bedroom door shuts, then locks. The bedroom doorknob starts shaking. Get away from me. This is my house. You don't belong here, said woman number 1. A rock goes through the bedroom window. Woman number 1 looks outside of the window, then sees 2 figures. Lightning flashes again. The 2 figures are gone. Woman number 1 gasps, then walks towards the bedroom door. The bedroom doorknob continues shaking. Woman number 1 stops, then looks at the closet. The bedroom door breaks open. A figure appears walking into the bedroom. Clanking sound comes from the distance. The figure walks towards the opened window, then looks outside it. Woman number 1 appears from underneath her bed, stands up, then runs out of the bedroom. The figure turns around, then follows woman number 1. Woman number 1 continues running, then gets to the top of the staircase. A figure appears down at the bottom of the staircase. Woman number 1 gasps, turns around, then looks down the hallway. A second figure appears walking down the hallway, then stops. Woman number 1 slowly walks backwards. Another bedroom door behind woman number 1 opens. Woman number 1 turns around, then gasps. A knife appears in woman number 1's chest, then it gets pulled out. Woman number 1 gasps, then falls down the staircase. The 3 figures are walking down the staircase. You must go, said voices echoing. Woman number 1's vision goes fuzzy. 2017. 20 years later. A truck appears driving. The traffic light turns red. Alberto, watch, said Vicky Mendoza, appearing in the passenger seat. The truck stops. Oops. I didn't even realize that. Thanks, honey. Are you 3 all right? Asked Alberto. Mendoza appearing in the driver's seat. Both Lloyd Mendoza and Pamela Mendoza appear laughing in the back seats. Yeah, Dad, we're fine, said Lloyd. Good. How about your Olivia? Asked Alberto. Olivia appears wearing earbuds, then looks up at Alberto. What? Asked Olivia. She's fine, said Vicky. The traffic light turns green. A horn honks. The truck drives through. A house appears. The truck pulls into the driveway, stops, then turns off. We're here, said Alberto. The truck doors open, then shut. Can we go choose our rooms now? Asked Pamela. Actually, me and your mother already chose your rooms when we saw the rooms during the open house. We're getting the master suite. There are 3 rooms, so Pamela and Olivia won't have to share a room anymore, said Alberto. Wait, I'm getting my own room, said Olivia. Yeah, said Vicky. Oh my God, I love this house, said Olivia, hugging both Alberto and Vicky. A U-Haul truck appears pulling into the driveway, then turns off. The doors are opening. All right, just so you know, I want you guys to put things into the living room, but the boxes get stacked into the kitchen, said Alberto. No problem, sir, said move number 1. Boxes and furniture are being carried into the house. Olivia carries a box into her bedroom. Oh my God, I love this room. It's so big, said Olivia, walking toward the closet, then opening the door. Footsteps are walking into the house. Wilfred Nguyen appears. Mr. Mendoza. I'm so glad to see you moving in so quickly, said Alfred. Yeah, well, the quicker you move in, the faster to get things put away, said Alberto. Oh, hello, Mr. Nguyen, said Vicky. Mrs. Mendoza. How's everything so far? Asked Wilfred. It's great. I love seeing this house every time I walk through it, said Vicky. Oh, how wonderful. Well, I can see you're quite busy still. So, I'll just head home. Just wanted to stop by and see how everything's going, said Wilfred. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen, said Vicky, walking away. Well, see you again, Mr. Mendoza, said Wilfred. You too, said Alberto. Wilfred walks out the front door, then towards his car. Afternoon, said mover number 2. Afternoon. Wilfred is whistling, approaching his car, then stopping. A reflection of a man wearing a trench coat appears, staring at Wilfred. Wilfred turns around, looks into the empty yard, then looks back at his car. The man wearing a trench coat is gone. Strange, said Wilfred, getting into his car. The engine starts. Wilfred adjusts the rearview mirror, then sees the reflection of the man wearing a trench coat standing behind his car. Wilfred gets startled, then looks behind him, knocking on the driver window. Wilfred gets startled again. The driver window rolls down. Sorry, Mr. Nguyen. Are you all right? You seemed a bit spooked, said Alberto. I'm fine. I thought I saw someone behind my car. I guess it was just my eyes playing tricks on me, said Wilfred. Well, you be careful, said Alberto. Yes, I will, said Wilfred. The gear gets put into reverse. Wilfred's car pulls out of the driveway. Alberto is smiling, looks at Wilfred's car, then sees the reflection of the man wearing a trench coat standing on his lawn. Wilfred's car drives away. Alberto turns around, then sees his lawn is empty. The U-Haul truck pulls out of the driveway, then drives down the street. Both Lloyd and Pamela are waving. All right, come on inside, kids, so we could set up your room, said Vicky. Both Lloyd and Pamela hold onto Vicky's hand. All three are walking into the house. Olivia appears, laying on her bed. Alberto stops at the bedroom door. Hey Olivia, got another box for you, said Alberto, placing the box onto the bedroom floor. Thanks, said Olivia. All right. Do you want me to help you open some boxes? Asked Alberto. No, I could do it, said Olivia. All right, I need to take a few up into the attic. The attic door opens. A pair of stairs appears. Alberto picks up the boxes, then carries them up the staircase. The attic appears. Alberto continues walking, then places the boxes onto the attic floor. A creaking sound comes from the distance. Alberto looks up, then sees sheets in the distance. Footsteps are walking, then stop. Alberto grabs a sheet, then pulls it down. A long mirror appears. Alberto steps backwards, then looks at the long mirror. The reflection of George Schwartz appears behind Alberto. A creaking sound comes from behind Alberto. Alberto turns around, then gets startled. Vicky laughs. Whoa, it's just me. Alberto looks back at the long mirror, then doesn't see George's reflection. Are you all right, honey? Asked Vicky. Yeah, I thought I saw someone else's reflection and not yours, said Alberto. Was she cuter than me? Asked Vicky. Actually, he was very handsome, but kinda creepy, said Alberto. Oh, well, maybe this'll make up for that. said Vicky, kissing Alberto. The reflection of George reappears, watches, then disappears. You? No, honey. The owners left these nice mirrors up here. Maybe we could use them instead of going out and buying more, said Alberto. What a wonderful idea. Because then the money we don't use for the mirrors, I could buy shoes with, said Vicky. Very funny. All right, let's take these downstairs, said Alberto, grabbing the long mirror. Footsteps are walking downstairs. Olivia looks up at her open bedroom door, then sees Alberto carrying the long mirror. Hey, what's that? Asked Olivia, walking towards the bedroom doorway. It's a mirror, said Alberto. Can I have it? Asked Olivia. You really want this big old mirror? Asked Alberto. Yeah. Please, asked Olivia. Alberto looks at Vicky. It's up to you, baby, said Alberto. I don't see why not. There are other mirrors upstairs we could use, said Vicky. All right, looks like you get this mirror, said Alberto, walking into Olivia's room, then setting down the long mirror. The sheet gets taken off the long mirror. Wow, I love it, said Olivia. Oh, and just remember the rule, said Alberto. What rule? Asked Olivia. You break a mirror, 7 years of bad luck, said Alberto, laughing. Very funny, said Olivia. All right, I'll go very back up and get the others. Oh, and Olivia, please be careful with it. I don't know if the owner will come back for it or not, said Alberto. I will, I promise, said Olivia. Alberto walks down the hallway. You do know the owners can't come back for their stuff since we bought this place, said Vicky. I know, but I guarantee she'll be very careful, said Alberto. The sun is shining in the sky. Lloyd appears running around the backyard with a toy plane. Pamela appears sitting in a toy chair. Would you like another cup of tea, Mr. Rabbit? Here you go, said Pamela, picking up the toy tea kettle, hovering it over the plastic cup, placing it onto the table, then looking at the puddle on the ground. The reflection of Darren Dixon appears holding a knife. Pamela, what are you doing? Pamela looks up, sees Vicky, then looks back at the puddle. The reflection of Darren is gone. Are you having a tea party? Can I join? Asked Vicky. Said Pamela. Vicky sits in the other toy chair. Lloyd continues running around, then stops. Hi, I'm Lloyd, said Lloyd. Oh, I love tea. Want some Mr. Rabbit? Asked Vicky. He already has some, said Pamela. Oh, he does? Well, I hope you enjoy it. Vicky looks up at Lloyd, then sees him staring at a figure. Lloyd, come here please, said Vicky. But I'm talking to my friend, said Lloyd. Lloyd, get over here now, said Vicky. I gotta go. Bye, said Lloyd, running towards Vicky. Honey, who were you talking to? Asked Vicky. Mr. Rodriguez. But he said his name is Daryl, said Lloyd. Honey, I didn't see you talking to anyone. You were just looking up, said Vicky. No, I was talking to Mr. Rodriguez. He said, and quat. He used to live here, and quat. A long time ago, said Lloyd. All right. Lloyd, if you ever see Mr. Rodriguez again, do me a favor. Don't talk to him, or if you have to, run. All right, honey? Asked Vicky. Yes, Mommy, said Vicky. Alberto appears hammering a nail into the wall. Olivia appears walking down the staircase. Hey Dad, what you doing? Asked Olivia. Putting up this mirror. You must have been the lucky one, because most of these mirrors are cracked, said Alberto. Hey, can I go for a walk? asked Olivia. Sure, honey, just be careful. We're the new neighbors, said Alberto. Olivia smiles, grabs her jacket off the coat rack, then looks into the mirror. The man wearing a trench coat appears, then walks past. Olivia gets startled. Olivia, you all right? Asked Alberto. I thought I just saw someone behind me, said Olivia. Honey, it could have been me or my shadow. You know, things do reflect in mirrors, said Alberto. Yeah, maybe, said Olivia, walking towards the front door, opens it, then walks outside. Alberto is hammering another nail into the wall, putting the hammer onto the table, then grabbing another mirror. The mirror goes onto the nail. There we go. Flush and looks great, said Alberto, bending down, then grabs the box of nails. The reflection of George appears in the mirror. He looks at Alberto, then disappears. Alberto looks at the mirror, wipes it off with a rag, grabs the hammer, then walks away. The man wearing a trench coat appears in the mirror, then watches Alberto walking away. All right, honey, mommy needs to go clean. I'll play later, said Vicky, standing up, then kisses Pamela's head. Bye, mommy, said Pamela. The back door opens. Pamela walks into the kitchen, stops at the sink, looks up, sees a mirror, then the reflection of Darren holding a knife. Oh my God, said Vicky, turning around. Alberto appears holding the hammer. Honey, what's wrong? Asked Alberto. Vicky looks at the mirror, then back at Alberto. Oh my God, I thought I saw something, said Vicky. Spooky mirrors. Was it the same guy the first saw in the attic? Asked Alberto. No, this was a woman holding a bloody knife, said Vicky. Odd. We must be seeing things. Well, I'm gonna go down to the store, pick up some food. What do you want to eat? Asked Alberto. Pick up some spaghetti and meatballs, said Vicky. Will do. Be back a flash, said Alberto, walking away. Vicky looks back at the mirror. Alberto walks outside, then towards his car. Afternoon, said Neil Baldwin, appearing on the other side of the fence. Afternoon, said Alberto. I'm Neil Baldwin, your new neighbor, said Neil. Alberto Mendoza, said Alberto. Nice to meet you. I actually live right across the street. I was going for a walk. I met your daughter. She told me you bought the old Rodriguez place, said Neil. Yeah, just moved in yesterday actually, said Alberto. Yeah, well, it's nice to see some new faces around here. Well, I don't want to keep you, said Neil. Thank you. Oh wait, Mr. Baldwin. Can you tell me anything about the original owners of this house? Asked Alberto. Trust me, if you don't know the story of Mr. Rodriguez, then trust me, you don't want to know. Mr. Rodriguez is dead and buried. And that's how everyone likes it, said Neil, walking away. Alberto looks up at the house, then gets into his car. All five appear sitting at the kitchen table. Lord, we thank you for giving us this meal. We thank you for the family you gave us, and blessed with what is to come. Amen, said Vicky. Boy, am I starving, said Lloyd. Well, running around with that toy plane. I thought you would have collapsed, said Vicky. Hey Olivia, I heard you ran into one of our neighbors today, Mr. Neil Baldwin, said Alberto. Yeah, he seems nice and a little creepy, because I asked if he knew anything about this place. He said, and quote, the neighborhood is at peace, and quote, said Olivia. He told me, and quote, Mr. Rodriguez owned this house before he died, and quote, said Alberto. Mr. Rodriguez isn't dead, Daddy, said Lloyd. He isn't, How do you know? Asked Alberto. Because I talked to him earlier out in the backyard, asked Lloyd. Vicky smiles. You did? Oh well, I guess I was wrong then. If Mr. Rodriguez is still alive, we would have to leave, said Alberto. No, we wouldn't. Mr. Rodriguez told me that we could stay here forever, said Lloyd. Well, that's very kind of him. Next time you see him, tell him we are grateful, said Alberto. Tell him yourself. He's right behind you, said Lloyd. All four stop eating, then look at Lloyd. What? Asked Lloyd. He's right behind me. Alberto slowly turns his head. His eyes widen, then he screams. All four scream. Alberto starts laughing. I'm sorry. That was just too funny, said Alberto. Mr. Rodriguez didn't like that, Daddy, said Lloyd. Well, tell him I'm sorry. Alberto laughs. Kids have the greatest imagination, said Alberto, laughing. A faint reflection of Darryl Rodriguez appears in the silverware. The water is running. Both Olivia and Vicky appear to be washing the dishes. Thanks for helping with the dishes, said Vicky. Yeah, well, for how much you guys do for me, said Olivia. What do you mean? Asked Vicky. Well, you know, feeding me, clothing me, letting me go to an awesome party tomorrow night, said Olivia. A party? Already? I don't know, Olivia. We just moved here, said Vicky. Please, Mom, I promise I'll leave extra early. I'll be home by 9, said Olivia. Vicky sighs. All right, said Vicky. Oh, thank you, said Olivia, hugging Vicky. As long as you're home by 9, said Vicky. I will, I promise, said Olivia. The moon is shining. Both Lloyd, Olivia, and Pamela appear sleeping. Both Alberto and Vicky appear sitting on the couch watching television. Alberto cheers. Woohoo! Yeah, touchdown, said Alberto. Shh, you don't want to wake the kids, said Vicky. Now there's an idea, said Alberto, sitting next to Vicky, then kisses her neck. Oh, Alberto, I have a long day tomorrow, said Vicky. Yeah, I have something else that's long, said Alberto, continuously kissing Vicky's neck. Vicky starts moaning. Both Alberto and Vicky lay onto the couch. Alberto runs his hand down Vicky's body, then between her legs. Vicky continues moaning. The television turns off. Both Alberto and Vicky look up at the television. We must have hit the power button. Now, where were we? Asked Alberto. Both Alberto and Vicky continue kissing. Alberto unbuttons Vicky's shirt, then kisses her breasts. Vicky continues moaning. Alberto puts his hand into Vicky's pants. Vicky moans louder, then looks at the television set. Darren, Darryl, and George. Reflections appear on the television screen. Vicky screams. Oh my God, said Vicky. What's wrong? Vicky looks around the living room. Vicky, what's wrong? Asked Alberto. Vicky walks into the hallway, then sees nothing. I swear to you, I saw something in the television set, said Vicky. It was us. Our reflections. That's what you saw, said Alberto. I saw 3 people standing right here because I saw their reflections in the television set, said Vicky. All right, you're tired. Let's just go to bed, and tomorrow everything will be back to normal, said Alberto, holding Vicky. The sun slowly rises. The shower is running. Olivia is humming, then wipes herself with the soap. The soap gets placed onto the shower rack. Olivia grabs the shampoo, then squirts it into her hair. The shampoo is being washed into Olivia's hair. Olivia continues humming. The shower turns off, then the curtain moves. Olivia grabs a towel, wraps it around herself, then steps out of the shower. The bathroom mirror appears foggy. Olivia wipes off the bathroom mirror. The man wearing a trench coat appears. Olivia screams, turns around, sees nothing, then looks back at the bathroom mirror. The man wearing a trench coat is gone. Knocking on the bathroom door. Olivia, are you all right? Asked Alberto. Yeah. I just saw a spider. I'm all right, said Olivia. All right, said Alberto. Olivia looking around the bathroom. A squeaking noise comes from the distance. Olivia turns around, then looks at the bathroom mirror. And quat, get out, and quat appears on the bathroom mirror. A sizzling sound comes from the kitchen. Vicky pours pancake batter into the pan. Footsteps are approaching. Morning, honey. Oh, breakfast smells great. Alberto looks at Vicky. Hey, Vicky, are you all right? Asked Alberto. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just thinking about what happened last night, said Vicky. You're welcome, said Alberto. Vicky chuckles. Alberto kisses Vicky's head. You? No, I think I'll take my breakfast to work. I need to get there early. All right, said Vicky. Footsteps are approaching. Olivia walks into the kitchen, then grabs her jacket. Hey, want some breakfast? Asked Alberto. No, said Olivia, walking out the back door. What's up with her? Asked Vicky. Don't know. Oh, I gotta get going, said Alberto. Olivia appears walking down the street. Oh, look what we have here, boys, said teenager number 1. Hey honey, want to be with a man? Asked teenager number 2. Shut up, said Olivia. Oh, we got ourselves a feisty one, said teenager number 1. Leave me alone, said Olivia. We could, but not until I tap that sweet ass, said teenager number 1. Yeah, we'll take turns too, said teenager number 2. That won't last long, said Olivia. Teenager number 1 hits Olivia. Olivia falls onto the ground. Now listen here, bitch. We're the ones that fuck all the girls around here, even if we have to take it. So, stay still while we tap your ass, said teenage number 1, unbundling his pants. Hey, what are you doing there? Asked Neil. Shit, it's Mr. Baldwin. We need to leave, said teenager number 2. Later, bitch, said teenager number 1. Both teenager number 1 and teenager number 2 are running down the street. Neil approaches Olivia. Olivia, are you all right, dear? Olivia starts crying. Oh, it's all right. Come on. Let's get you home, said Neil. No, I don't want to go home. There's something wrong with that place, said Olivia. Well, you can't stay out here. Come on, I'll take you to my house. And I'll call your parents, said Neil. Pamela hovers the tea kettle over a plastic cup, then places it onto the table. Oh, today's cake tastes good. The reflection of Darren appears in the mirror, watches. Pamela then raises the knife. A banging sound comes from the distance. Pamela looks up, then sees Lloyd's door is opened. The reflection of the man wearing a trench coat appears, then stares at Pamela. Pamela continues staring at the man wearing a trench coat. The man wearing a trench coat starts walking towards Pamela, then he disappears. Footsteps are walking on the hardwood. Mommy, said Pamela. The bedroom door shuts. Pamela screams. Vicky runs up the staircase, then opens Pamela's bedroom door. Pamela appears crying. Hey, 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 sweetheart, it's me. It's Mommy, said Vicky. Mommy, I saw someone in the mirror. said Pamela. The sound of footsteps is walking on the hardwood floor. Vicky looks up at the bedroom door, sees nothing, stands up, slowly walks, then doesn't see anything. All right, honey, we're safe. No one is gonna hurt you. Vicky holds Pamela. Let's find your brother, said Vicky. Lloyd appears in the backyard, then looks up. Daryl appears in the reflection of the window of the shed. All right, but I don't want to kill my family. I don't want to. My mommy was right. You are a stranger. I thought you were my friend, said Lloyd. Lloyd, what are you doing, baby? Come on, we're leaving right now, said Vicky. Where are we going? Asked Lloyd. To the neighbor's house down the street. Mr. Baldwin, said Vicky. All three are walking away. Lloyd looks back. The reflection of Daryl is gone. All three walk past some water. The man wearing a trench coat appears. Lloyd looks at the water. The man wearing a trench coat looks at Lloyd, then he smiles. The Baldwin's house appears. All three appear sitting in chairs. I'm glad you came here, especially after what your daughter told me, said Neil. What? Asked Vicky. This morning after my shower, I saw a man standing behind me, said Olivia. What did he look like? Asked Vicky. I can barely see his face. But he's wearing a black hat and a trench coat, said Olivia. I have never seen him before. Do you know who that is, Mr. Baldwin? Asked Vicky. Yeah, I know him. His name is Detective Brad Shooter. One hell of a detective. Arrested a lot of people in this town, said Neil. What does he want? Asked Vicky. I think he wants us gone. Because, on the shower mirror, he wrote, and quote, "Get out," and quote, said Olivia. He doesn't want you out. I mean, he does. It's just what he wrote was a warning, said Neil. Then, who are the others? Asked Vicky. Easy. I got something for you to see. I'll be right back. Neil walks away, then comes back into the room carrying a box. The box gets placed onto the table. Neil opens the box, then pulls out some newspaper. Here it is. These are the ones in your house, said Neil, handing the newspaper. Vicky grabs the newspaper, looks at it, then sees the pictures of Darren, Daryl and George. Yes, these are them. Who are they? Asked Vicky. The guy with the beard. That's George Schwartz. The woman is Darren Dixon and the last one is, said Neil, being interrupted. Hey, that's Mr. Rodriguez, said Lloyd. This is Mr. Rodriguez. Are you sure? Lloyd asked Vicky. I'm positive, said Lloyd. This is the guy you told us about, said Vicky. Mr. Daryl Rodriguez is not a guy or a man. He is just evil. Pure evil that will stop at nothing to get what he wants, said Neil. And what does he want? Asked Vicky. Your boy is the one that saw him first. I believe Daryl wants him, said Neil. And the others? Asked Vicky. Who saw George and Darren first? Asked Neil. Alberto said, and quote, he saw this guy upstairs in the attic, and quote, said Vicky. Then George will want your husband. Daryl will want your son. And whoever saw Darren first, that's who she wants, said Neil. How do you know all this? Asked Vicky. 20 years ago, I was a cop, so was my partner, Brad Shooter. We got a call about a disturbance at a local resistance. So, we got the call and went to the house. Unknowingly, we walked in on a ritual going on. These three people were Satanists. Well, we wounded Darren first. George was the hard one to kill. Because he was a big man. Well, while I was struggling with George, Brad and Daryl fought. I was able to wound George. Then I heard a gunfire. I ran and found my partner shot. Then Daryl looked at me, said a chant, then slit his own throat. They died. Well, that's what people thought. Because people who end up buying the house you live in. Things kept happening. No matter where they went. They saw those 3 damned souls. But whoever sees Brad, they must become the protector, said Neil. Who saw Brad first? Asked Vicky. It wasn't any of you. It was your realtor, said Neil. How do you know? Asked Vicky. I actually saw you guys moving in that day. And as I was approaching, I saw Mr. Nguyen get startled by Brad. So, we need him, said Neil. The truck pulls into the driveway. Alberto gets out of the truck, then walks towards the house. The front door opens, then shuts. Hey, where is everyone? Guys, hello, said Alberto, looking around, then into the mirror. The reflections of Daryl and George appear in the mirror. Alberto stares at all 3 of them, then his eyes turn black. Footsteps are walking. Alberto walks into the kitchen, grabs a knife, then walks towards the back door. The back door opens. The telephone starts ringing. Come on, Mr. Nguyen. Pick up, please. Mr. Nguyen, said Vicky. The telephone continues ringing. Wilfred appears hanging. The receiver hangs up. No answer? Asked Neil. None, said Vicky. Then it's too late. The 3 of them got to him first, said Neil. Olivia looks out the front door. Mom, Dad's coming, said Olivia. Thank God, said Vicky. Wait, did you tell your husband about coming here? Asked Neil. No, said Vicky, standing at the front door. The window of the door breaks. Alberto grabs Vicky's throat. Vicky is struggling. Neil runs, then hits Alberto's hand. Alberto lets go of Vicky. Are you all right, Mom? Asked Olivia. Lloyd walks towards the front door. Yeah, Lloyd. Don't, said Vicky. But it's Daddy, said Lloyd. That ain't Daddy. Daddy isn't himself right now, said Vicky. The front door breaks down. Honey, I'm home, said Alberto, walking into the house. Neil runs at Alberto, then pins him against the wall. Alberto, listen to me. You need to fight. They're just using you so they could get stronger, said Neil, gasping. The knife appears in Neil's stomach. Neil gasps, then collapses onto the floor. Oh my God, said Vicky. Alberto looks at all 4 of them. Honey, can I see our children? We need to go home, said Alberto. No, said Vicky. All 4 start running up the staircase. Alberto slowly walks up the staircase. All 4 run into a bedroom. Oh my God. Mom, what are we gonna do? Asked Olivia. I don't know, said Vicky. Mom, I'm scared, said Pamela. Don't worry, honey. I won't let anything happen to you. Banging on the bedroom door. All 4 scream. Hurry, out the window, said Vicky. The bedroom window opens. Olivia crawls through the bedroom window, then jumps down. All right, come on, said Olivia. Go, honey, said Vicky. Pamela jumps out the bedroom window. Olivia catches Pamela. All right, said Olivia. Go, honey, said Vicky. Lloyd jumps out the bedroom window. Olivia catches Lloyd. All right, come on, Mom, said Olivia. Vicky starts to crawl through the bedroom window, then sees Alberto approaching all 3 of them. Olivia turns around. Alberto appears, then swings the knife. The knife cuts Olivia's face. Olivia falls onto the lawn. Alberto grabs both Lloyd and Pamela. No, my babies, said Vicky. Footsteps are running. Vicky kneels next to Olivia, rolls her onto her back, then sees the cut on her face. Olivia groans. Mom, said Olivia. It's all right, baby. I'm here, said Vicky. You need to go and stop Dad, said Olivia. Vicky looks up, then runs down the street. The Mendoza's house appears. Vicky runs into their house, then looks around, screaming upstairs. And Quat, Mommy, and Quat, yelled both Lloyd and Pamela. Both Lloyd and Pamela appear tied together. Alberto is staring at the mirror. The reflections of Darren. Daryl and George appear in the mirror, nodding their heads. Alberto looks at both Lloyd and Pamela, approaches them, then raises the knife. Pamela screams. Vicky runs up the staircase, goes into their bedroom, then grabs Alberto's arm. Stay away from my children, said Vicky. Alberto pushes Vicky down. Vicky goes to stand up. Alberto punches Vicky. Vicky falls onto the bedroom floor. Alberto looks at both Lloyd and Pamela, then raises the knife again. A rock hits Alberto. Alberto falls onto the bedroom floor. Stay away from my family. Alberto stands up, then looks up at Olivia. Olivia throws another rock. The rock hits Alberto's leg. Alberto limps towards Olivia. Olivia walks backwards into the attic wall. Alberto raises the knife. Dad, please, you said, and Quat, you'd always protect me, said Olivia. Alberto lowers the knife. Voices are growing. Alberto closes his eyes, reopens them, looks at Olivia, then raises the knife. Olivia screams. Vicky groans, sees the rock laying on the bedroom floor, then grabs it. Hey demon freaks, go to hell, said Vicky, throwing the rock. The rock goes into the mirror. All three screaming. A dark light appears, then floats through the floor. Alberto falls onto the attic floor. Ow, what's going on? Ow, what happened to my leg? Asked Alberto. We'll explain later, said Vicky, hugging Alberto. 5 days later. The mirrors are being carried outside of the house, then placed into a truck. All right, that's all of the mirrors, right? Asked Alberto. Yeah, said Vicky. Goodbye reflections, said Olivia. All right, I'll take these down to the dump. Be right back, said Alberto. The truck starts, then drives down the street. All right, who's hungry? Asked Vicky. I am, said both Lloyd and Pamela. Olivia looks down, then sees a piece of glass. The reflection of the man wearing a black hat and trench coat appears, winks at Olivia, smiles, then he disappears. Olivia, are you coming? Asked Vicky. Yeah, I'm right behind you, said Olivia. All four are running inside of the house. The Baldwin's house appears. Neil places a picture of himself and Brad onto the shelf. Thank you for your help again, my friend, said Neil, smiling. The living room window opens. The wind starts blowing inside. Neil looks at the living room window, then walks towards it. The living room window shuts. Neil turns around, sits down, grabs a pair of reading glasses and a book. The book opens. Neil starts reading. A figure walks past Neil's glasses. Neil takes off his glasses, wipes them off, looks at them, smiles. Then looks closer. The reflections of Darren, Daryl, and George appear in the reading glasses. The reflection of Darren raises the knife. Neil screams. The end.